backlog of gun permit applications, the Department of Public Safety is hiring temporary workers to process all the paperwork. It's a fix that critics say wouldn't be necessary if DPS had properly prepared for the spike in applications. Fox 7's Rudy Koski is live at the state capitol with that. Rudy.
Hi, Mike. During the last regular session, state lawmakers amended the concealed handgun law here in the state. They did it with the idea of trying to make it easier to get a license. But since the change took effect in September, gun owners have complained that the application process just isn't being done fast enough.
All five rounds. You have 10 seconds. Is everyone ready?
Locked and loaded.
Fire!
A record number of people are signing up for gun training that requires work on the range.
Stop! Remove that magazine.
And in a classroom.
We're going to go over some legal aspects of concealed carry.
Michael Cargill says some of those who have completed the course he teaches are having a hard time getting their permit applications processed by the state. By law, it should take no longer than 60 days.
People are sending in their information electronically, and they're not able to keep up with that.
During the regular session, state lawmakers approved legislation reducing the amount of class time that's required for a permit from a minimum of 10 hours to at least 4 hours. The change is expected to accelerate a trend that's already on the rise. The number of permits issued have gone from about 140,000 for the 2010-11 fiscal year to almost 230,000 in this past cycle.
And everyone's always passed the test, so if anyone fails, you'll be the first.
Cargill believes state leaders have failed to manage the growth and failed to realize even more applications would be filed after the new standards took effect in September.
This should have been anticipated. September the 1st, they should have already had new employees in place.
The legislation that was signed by the governor appears to give officials at DPS the authorities to increase the permitting fee to cover their costs. But as of now, that $140 fee remains the same. Officials at DPS admit there is a backlog. Staff members taking time off during the November and December holiday season, that may have contributed to the problem. To catch up, according to an agency spokesperson, temporary workers have been hired.
You need to do your application.
But some applicants may also share the blame for the holdup. The 60-day processing clock does not begin until after all forms are accurately completed. And some people, according to DPS records, have missed the mark on doing that.
Stop!
Now, don't expect that the agency is going to immediately jack up the rates. I talked to an individual late this afternoon, and they told me that they're not quite sure how they can do it immediately. It may take, ironically, a lengthy review process to even consider doing that. Meanwhile, there are currently a little more than 700,000 active concealed handgun licenses in the state of Texas, and that number could balloon up to 1 million in anywhere between 2 to 3 years if the trend continues. Now back to you in the studio.
All right, Rudy, thank you for that.